Hello, Chandler. I know you've been working on Take Your Money and Run, and also been working on that Journey song. So today I thought we would do some more work on rolls, which you'd be doing in school. So this is page 58 from the book we have been using, and we're working with 5-stroke rolls. So that's an open roll. Here's the buzz roll. So the way these rolls work is in the music, and you'll be looking at it, there's going to be, the first section has 5 areas here to be working on. And I'll play each of the lines. In the second section, there's 2 line phrases. So I'm going to play. So number 1, I'll go ahead and play that. And you're using eighth notes. So remember, when you're looking at this measure, it's 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 en. So it's and a 3 and 4 en is the roll. So I'm going to play across the whole line. I'm not going to say that, but you can practice. I'll play each line twice, stop, and pause, and let you have some time to play that. So here we go. So there's your first line. I played that twice. You can either pause or go ahead and play that again. So here we go, second line. So the second line, we'll do that one. Starts up, puts the roll. Now this group has, some measures have 3 rolls in it and not 2. So here we go, 5-stroke rolls. Here we go again. Gave you some time to play that. Here we go, the third line. One more time. That was a little tougher. A little bit of silence here. Hope I'm allowing enough time. Okay, now you're going to incorporate a little bit of rest in this one here. This is number 4. So there's that one again. Go ahead and play that one. That should be enough time. Number 5. Again. Explain a little bit to you about this one here, number 5. You've got 1, and then your roll is and 2 en. So and 2 en becomes a 9-stroke. Or so it's 1 and 2 en. 1. So that's how you want to think of that. And I will have written that over number 5 for you. So that's a little different roll in there. So we've added a little different roll in there. So now let's do number 7. So number 7 starts with a 9-stroke roll, followed by a 5. So you got 1 E and a 2, and then you play and a 3. And then you got 4 E and. So you want to think those when you play them. So that 7 actually goes down to the next line. I played to the bottom line of 7. So I'll do that one more time, and then I'll think through it while you play it. So I'm going to do 7 down to line 8, of which I don't have numbered. So it ends on. So what you have on this one, you have 1 E and a 2, and a 3, 4 E and a 2, 3 E and 4 E and a 1. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. I apologize for some of the saying in there, the wrong numbers, but the right way to play it. Here we go with number 7. So, and again, the end of that, you have a 17-stroke roll. All right, second line. Now you have 1 and a 3 En, 4 En, a 1 and a 2, 3 En, and a 1, 2 En, 3 and a 4 and a 1, and a 3 and a 4. So you need to combine all these across. I'll write those things across so you can practice them. Here we go with number 8. One more time. I messed that one up. 2. So that fourth measure is a little tricky. It goes 1, 2 En, 3 En, a 4 and a 1. Even though that looks long in there. So that's line 8. 1, 1, and a 3 En, 4 En, a 1 and a 2, 3 En, and a 1, 2 En, 3 and a 4 and a 1, and a 3 and a 4. So that's that one. Number 9. So number 9 adds that 13-stroke roll. So the 13-stroke roll is, if it starts on the downbeat, it goes 1 E and a 2 En, or 3 E and a 4 En. So number 9 goes 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4 En, 1 En, 2 E and a 3, 4 E and a 1 En, and a 2 En, 3 E and a 1, 3 En, and a 1. One more time on that, see if I can get the numbers right this time. 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4 En, 1 En, 2 E and a 3, 4 E and a 1 En, and a 3 En, 4 E and a 1, 3 En, and a 1. Again, this goes down to measure 10, line 10. Here we go with 9. Again, 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4 En, 1 E and 2 E and a 3, 4 E and a 1 En, and a 2 En, 3. So that's 9. 10. So 10 goes 1, 2 En, and a 4, and a 2 En, 3 and a 4 En, and a 2 En, and a 4 En, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 En. Okay. So it goes 1, 2 En, and a 4, 1 and a 2 En, 1 and 1. So you'll work on those. They won't necessarily be easy, but that'll get you ready for your reading for next semester. So we'll probably look again at that song by Journey. I've put up the best interpretation of that. I don't necessarily have the best video of me playing it, but I'll try to have that up by the day. If not, I'll have it up after that. So now what I want to do today is play all the rolls in the paradiddles. So we know the long stroke roll, or you can crush it. So what you want to do with this roll is practice it both ways. You want to practice your doubles. And you might be buzzing in the beginning. So I'll play each roll. I'll play all of the rolls this time. So here's your 5-stroke rolls, which we just did. So 5-stroke rolls is 1 EN, 2 EN, or and a 1 and a 2. Wherever it falls, you're still going to do the same thing. 2 strokes of a double and 1 of a single. So here it is, open. Here it is, crush. You can do either way. So a 6-stroke roll means you have 2 singles in a group of 16th notes. So you're going to play E and Da. So it's so 1 E and A. Still a 5-stroke roll in there, but you have what you're doing is you're having 2 singles, which makes it a 6-stroke roll. So basically you're hitting 1 single on the right and 1 single on the left, or 1 single on the left and 1 single on the right. So you have 1 E and A. So you can also play that roll. It's not written there, but you can also play that roll like this, where I put the roll on the beginning. 1 E and it was that the way that one would go. So you could move that roll around. So let's do the 7 now. The 7 is 1 E and means you don't you don't alternate these. You do alternate the 5s. You don't alternate these because it's going to start on one hand and on the other. You should be able to start either way. So make a video of yourself starting either way. Here's a 7-stroke roll. Let's start with the left hand. Right hand, I mean. See how that goes? It's a right hand. With the left hand. So you want to practice that both ways. You don't alternate them. You play them, they just go hand to hand. You don't have to worry about that. That's a 7-stroke roll, 1 E and A. The 9-stroke roll is 1 E and A 2, so you're doing 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and you're thinking 16th notes in this, and you're thinking if so, very open. So the way that works is you're thinking it ends on the 1 E and A 2, 3 E and A 4. That's the way that goes. That's your 9. You should be able to start them starting with either hand. But if you're alternating them, you're playing them both ways. Again, your 10-stroke roll, like your 6-stroke roll, same kind of a thing. You have, in this case, you play a 9-stroke roll and you hit 2 singles. So the 9-stroke roll ends on 2 or 4 if you're starting on 1 and 3, and then you play the E. Or start with the left hand. Or doubles. That's your 10-stroke roll. Now you have the 11-stroke roll. This one also does not alternate. You should be able to start. So this goes 1 E and A 2. It's the same exact roll you did with the 10, except you only have 1 single, and you go a little longer with your roll. So you want to practice that over and over and start either way with the left hand as well. So you want to go both ways with that. That one does not alternate. Should we start with either hand. The 13-stroke roll, 1E and a 2EN, 1E and a 2. This one is going to alternate. So it goes. If you're counting that 1E and a 2EN, 1E and a 2EN, it will work for you. Again, that one does alternate, okay? The next one is the 15-stroke roll, which takes the same place as a half note. So you know your half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, half notes, 16th notes. So the half note takes up 2 full beats, 1E and a 2E and a. And what makes it be a 15-stroke roll is 1E and a has 8 strokes. You're going to add 6 more strokes because it's 2E and, so that's right there, it's 14, and then 15 becomes when you play on the So this does not alternate. And also this roll, the way this roll works is you have not much time between it, like with a 9-stroke roll. Notice you have E and A that you're not playing. On the 15-stroke roll, you don't have much time between it. So you also would start that with the left hand. That takes some getting used to for how the sticks end up. And then we have a 17-stroke roll. So I'd like to see you go through these, record these one at a time. So now the 17-stroke roll is, when you're thinking about it, we just had a 15-stroke roll. If you thought about 1E and a 2E and a, that would be 16 strokes. If you ended on 3, that makes it a 17-stroke with that singular stroke at the end. So this one does alternate. Are very open. Okay? So there's your rolls. There's a lot of rolls you're working on. So I'll see you today, and I may try to record another thing. I have 2 things to re-record for you. One of them would be the Take Your Money and Run, which we worked on, which I need to get a better recording of, and also the one of the last week's lesson. So we'll talk to you again.